The presidential campaigns are really dialing into Wisconsin this week. Trump and VP Harris will be here Wednesday and Friday. J.D. Vance was in Wausau yesterday.
All of these visits take a lot of costly local resources. 7 Investigates' Emily Davies explains those costs and who is responsible for paying them.
We've had great success here.
From rallies to local pit stops, motorcades, and first aid.
There's a cost to providing that service.
We have an obligation to staff them and make sure they're safe, not only for those candidates, but for everybody that is attending.
7 Investigates obtained the records for some of the staffing and services used during former President Donald Trump's visit and Governor Tim Walz's visit in September. The cost from the Wausau Police and Fire Departments, Marathon County Sheriff's Office, and Mosinee Police Department total more than $76,000. That does not include involvement from Mosinee Police for the Walz event because that information wasn't available yet. It also doesn't include the numerous other agencies in the region that assisted.
It's a cost to the taxpayers of this county and the city and all these different municipalities.
Typically what happens, you just don't hear back from them and it becomes a write-off because you're not going to get the money.
Unlike venues that know the cost of hosting an event and can charge campaigns before they even step foot on the property, ensuring those costs are covered, the cost for first responders depends on the time and services that ultimately take place.
Billing ahead of time would be a challenge. I will say that we've considered how we would do that in the future.
Most of the totals provided for these events were local government determined rates, not necessarily what agencies paid their staff, like $80 per hour for Wausau Police and Fire and $70 per hour for a county deputy. These rates cover wages and benefits at an overtime rate, not overhead costs.
It's a tough balancing act to look at the value that these visits bring to our community and juxtapose that to the actual cost to the police department budget.
Your overtime budget gets hit really hard when these events come to town, and then people are looking at it going, why are you guys spending so much time on overtime?
For the September visits, the Trump campaign provided an address agencies could send an invoice, but the departments nor us have heard back. The Harris campaign directed these agencies to the U.S. Secret Service. The Secret Service told 7 Investigates it doesn't have a mechanism to reimburse local government agencies for their services, but added after recent discussions with congressional leaders, that could change. All agencies we talk to state regardless, they're going to help when a fellow agency, in this case the Secret Service, needs support.
The Federal Elections Commission told us campaigns aren't required to pay for local agencies' assistance, but they are allowed to use campaign funds to reimburse those security costs. As far as our local agencies here are aware of, the Eau Claire Police Department is the only one in the state to successfully get paid from campaigns. They tell me they did it by working with private venues to add in a law enforcement cost to their bill. Soon after we talked with the Harris campaign Monday, Wausau Police told us the campaign intends to pay the bill.
Local businesses are also becoming part of these campaign events. Services that are requested on behalf of the campaign are paid by the campaign. If a Secret Service needs something like tents, tables, or bullet-resistant glass from a business, Secret Service tells us pre-approved vendors get a call and can submit an invoice to be paid according to the government rate.